Since the beginning of recorded history, mankind has always struggled with questions of fair treatment and equality. And today, even for those of us living in a nation founded on the premise that all men are created equal, it's almost hard to believe this is something we still struggle with. Consider the case of one Robert Necritus. Robert is a self-proclaimed zombie, an apparent victim of voodoo witchcraft while visiting the island nation of Haiti. He wants nothing more than an opportunity to earn a living and pay for a comfortable life for him and his family. But he is faced with losing his job, a job that he had just gotten. And why? Is it from a history of missing work? Coming in late? Does he perform poorly on the job? No, Robert says, because he is a zombie. Thank you for joining us today, Robert. How are you?
Oh, fine, Brick. Thank you for having me.
Okay, now, we've all seen the movies about toxic chemical spills and rapidly mutating viruses, and I'm sure the first thing on everyone's mind is, how exactly does one become a zombie?
Well, Brick, it all happened a few months ago, when I and some friends of mine went down to Haiti to help with the rebuilding. You know, do our duty as decent Christians.
Of course.
Well, after a hard day's work, we decided to have a few drinks, play some cards. Well, everything's going just fine for most of the night. At least as much as I can remember. The details get a little blurry.
Apparently, Robert's friends thought it would be humorous to borrow a goat from a local farm and put it into bed next to him while he was sleeping. Only the owner of that goat apparently didn't find it quite so humorous.
I don't know whose goat it was. I don't know why. I just know a few minutes later, I got some crazy witch doctor standing in my doorway, rattling a bag of bones, chanting some nonsense, blowing pixie dust in my eyes, and the next thing I know, I'm waking up in bed again. Apparently, I've been zombified. Some kind of crazy hoodoo witchcraft. I don't know.
And of course you mean voodoo, not hoodoo.
Hoodoo, voodoo, whatever. Do I look like fucking Wikipedia over here? I'm just going by what I was told. I'm a fucking zombie, for Christ's sake, Brick.
Fair enough. Now, moving on. You recently received notification from your new employer that your services will no longer be needed. Is that right?
That's right.
And why is that?
Why? Look at me, Brick. I'm a zombie.
But that surely isn't the reason they gave you.
Oh, no. According to them, I'm some kind of threat to my co-workers. What it is, though, is discrimination. It's a goddamn violation of the Americans with Disabilities Act.
Well, did you ever cause any harm to a coworker?
No, of course not. There was this one time I maybe went for this one guy's brains, but I barely even got my teeth into him before someone pulled me off.
Excuse me, you went for a guy's brains?
Well, yeah, of course I did. Zombie, remember?
Well, forgive me for playing devil's advocate here, Robert, but don't you think that your desire to eat human brains might actually pose a real threat to your coworkers?
No, I don't. I've got these pills I take that take care of that.
So these pills actually get rid of your desire for human brains?
Well, I still have the desire once in a while, but they make it so that I can control myself.
So, as long as you have your pills, there is no chance of you being a threat to anyone.
Well, think of it like any other addiction, Rick. If you quit smoking, you still have the desire to have one, and maybe once in a while you can get away with it. Will I fall off the wagon every now and again? Probably, but it's not like you're gonna fire a guy for sneaking in a cigarette every once in a while.
Well, to be fair, Robert, we're not talking about sneaking in a cigarette once in a while. We're talking about eating people's brains. Obviously, you can see the difference.
Well, yeah, I can see the difference. Cigarettes kill millions of people a year. How many people do you think are killed by zombies? I mean, I don't know, but I bet it's not very many. And yet nobody's getting fired for smoking cigarettes. I mean, the hypocrisy is ridiculous.
I had a chance to chat with one of Robert's co-workers, Grace.
So, Grace, You work with Robert?
Oh, yes, I work with Robert.
So what did you think when you first met him?
Well, at first he was really cool. I did think he was strangely pale, but that was okay. Then he started talking about brains and how delicious they were, and I just thought that was very, very weird. So I really haven't talked to him a whole lot.
So would you say that you're afraid to work with him?
Oh no, I'm not afraid to work with him as long as someone else is around. Although if it were just he and I at a shift, I would request a helmet.
And so life goes on for Robert Necritus. He's still at work, for now, while his discrimination case is under investigation. Now this reporter certainly hopes fairness wins the day and zombies of the future are free to pursue their dreams without discrimination. Stories like this remind us that, with all of the strides we've made in terms of civil rights and fair treatment for all, we still have a long way to go.